trust me, it's gonna sound cool. We're gonna take it, we're gonna move it up to the original note. We're going to take that note and we're going to drop it down an octave so that it's actually gonna, it's like a tape stop effect almost, right? What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is SIKKY. I make videos on YouTube and some cool things. Today's video, I'm gonna show you guys how I manipulate samples and loops and melodies and things of that nature. And we're gonna show you how to make them more exciting, more interesting. Some of these you'll already know. Some of these are gonna be like, yo, I'm definitely subscribing to your channel, my man. First things first, we're gonna be using melodies from my recently dropped Horizon kit. By the way, I would love it if you guys watch that video, because even if you don't buy it, that trailer is gonna leave you hella inspired, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you some of these ways that we manipulate these samples. So let's do that. So let's listen to some of this melodies, okay? Very, very, very cool. The first thing I want to show you is the most obvious thing. Why? Because I think I can explain it a little bit better. The first way that I like to do this is to stretch and pitch the sample itself. The reason why you do that is because not only does it change the whole feel of the thing, but depending on the stretching algorithm that you use, you'll get a different flavor, because these stretching algorithms are doing their best to preserve, and in the process they're fucking it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take this and I'm going to just pitch the sample. I don't know, I'm gonna change the tempo to something absurd, like let's say we're gonna go to 160, okay? Now that one already adds some flavor to it, the speech, right? Number one is just pitching and stretching the sample. And you'll find sometimes stretching the sample beyond what it should have been stretched to is a really dope way to have fun with your sample. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stretch this to twice its length. You're gonna be like, yo, that is too much. But let's break some rules today, okay? Let's break some rules and do some interesting stuff. So that's number one, stretching. Kind of dirty. It's kind of bad sounding, you know? Number two is reverse the sample. And you're thinking like, bro, this is like not even new information. But you got to remember is you're taking these techniques, layering them with other techniques to get something unique. So we've stretched this. Now we're gonna reverse it. This is like basically the crutch on which you can turn basically any melody into something decent sounding when you reverse it. So check it out. Number three, sidechain. Now, you can do this by routing it to your track and going into grow speed and putting on the sidechain preset, which, you know, nothing wrong with that. I found that using the method I'm about to show you to be, well, it gives you more control, and I'm a controlling person. So we're gonna pull up Horizon into the extras folder, and in this extras folder I've actually dropped in a couple of cool automations. Now we're gonna create an automation clip. We're not gonna use this volume knob over here, okay? We want to leave this to use it to control the level of our sample when we need to. We're gonna instead use this one, right click, create automation, and then, okay, this is just the method I've made for my own personal convenience, and we're gonna drop that on there. And we're simply just gonna get rid of this right there. Now we have the automation controlling the volume on the sample. Select it, repeat. Now, why this method is cool is that if I want to manipulate this, I just turn this down and all the following automation clips will follow. That's really cool. You shift this fucker around a little bit. Ooh, there you got something cool and different. There you go. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. Cool, right? That's very cool. Now, number 4. Automation is the next one. So now, same thing, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some stutters in there. Now, what's cool about this is that you can use the automation to create weird and wacky effects. So let's say I put a point right here, paste, and then we go to pulse, drop this down, then change this one down. Now we got all these cool little stutters happening. You know what I'm saying? So let's check this out. This probably won't sound really good with that new one that I just added, but let's play it anyways. Okay, we're gonna get rid of mine. Cool. What if you slowed this one down? That's very cool. Now you can take this, cut it up, keep the parts that you like. We're moving quickly, right? Number 5. The next one that I want to show you is to use the fruity slicer. Man, oh my God, this shit's so obvious, but it's cool, man. Check it out. I got a new sample pulled up. Let's actually listen to it first, okay? Go, no, 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 no. Cool, right? Fruity slicer. Gonna go into here, click on open a new fruity slicer channel. When you do that, now what's cool is that you go to the drop down menu and you click beat. And then a lot of producers will just go into here and will just turn the attack up, turn the decay up. That kind of gives you that little stuttering kind of a sound to it, right? But what you can also do with this thing, and people don't fail to do this, is that you can also reverse certain samples. So I'm going to I have a bit of a formula for this because people like formulas. We're going to count in 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on the 8th one, we're going to reverse it. You can think of it as like a very calculated thing, or it doesn't, but you'll find that this kind of usually works. It sounds good, okay? So we're going to play the sample. This is what it sounds like. We're going to take this one, reverse it too. Now, here's what's cool about doing it like this. Now, let's say we take this sample. Let's go over here to the one that we reverse. That's the one we reverse. What we're going to do is we're going to double click on it and we're going to make it a slide note. You're like, what? Trust me, it's going to sound cool. We're going to take it, we're going to move it up to the original note. We're going to take that note and we're going to drop it down an octave so that it's actually going to, it's like a tape stop effect almost, right? And we're gonna make it a little bit shorter. We're gonna have it happen right at the end. And we're gonna have another one right here. We're gonna pitch it up an octave and we're gonna have this one come down. We're gonna do it quickly and we're gonna repeat it. That sounds super cool, right? So we kind of just added slide notes in there. You're gonna have to play around to find what works, but usually I'm gonna leave you with this. This you can try it with like this. It'll usually sound good right before, let's say, a snare hit. Snare hit would happen right there, or towards the end of a bar, like I've done here a couple of times. Right here, I've done it. I've done it also right here with the reverse sample. You're like, oh, that's kind of cool. Told you, it's gonna be good tings, very good tings. If you like this video so far, my man, if you like this video, smash that like button. Also, makes me really happy when people type good tings in the comments. So go ahead and type good tings if you learned something, even one thing today from this video, okay? Now, moving on to the next part. Okay, so we're on a roll. What else can we do with this? I don't even know what number we're on. I've completely lost track, but here's another one. You go down, you pull up your sample, right? It's in our arrangement view. We're gonna go to the drop down menu for the audio file and we're gonna drop down to here, chop. Now, I'm going to show you an easy method. I'm going to show you also a crazy thing that I'm like, yo, this was kind of cool. Number one, you go into time-based, okay? We're going to go and chop this into bars. Automatically, it's going to chop it very quickly. Okay, let's do that. Now, actually, let's chop it into beats, which is quicker, right? Obviously. So we're going to select our audio, and then we're going to shorten the audio file right at the end here. And that's going to kind of create a little bit of a stuttering effect, but we're going to soften that effect by going into the drop-down menu here and declicking to generic, which is like the shortest automatic fade that you can add, which I wish FL Studio would let you do it faster or have more control over that, because again, I'm a controlling person. We're going to play this. Add a little swag to it, right? Now, if you change this declicking mode to something like smooth or crossfade, you're gonna get longer crossfades, okay? So we're gonna change it to smooth, which is kind of happy balance in between all of these. You'll realize that the first note doesn't get any audio fades. We're just gonna hit shift, scroll, there we go. Now let's check that out. Very cool. Now you got little crossfades happening and it sounds a little bit different. Almost like Sidechain, you know, something similar, something a little bit quicker to do even, I'd say. Next thing is that you can do, we're gonna chop it up, we're gonna freak it up a lot. This method here doesn't always sound good, full disclosure, but it's a way to, you know, make it cool. So let's try stutter. This is gonna be weird, okay? That sounds kind of okay, but I think it would sound cool if the stutters were a little bit more percussive. They weren't so soft sounding. And the reason why they are is because we're still on the smooth declicking mode. We're gonna change to generic. Check it out now. Very cool. Now, don't overdo this because this will get real annoying and it's a surefire way to make your beat sound too wild. Use it sparingly, subtly, a little part of it. Maybe just like, I don't know, take this bit here and, or even, right? Little bits, chop it up, even move around the notes. Don't be afraid to do that. That's gonna sound cool too. We're gonna do this like this, like this. Okay, that sounds cool, but what's another way we can freak this up? Let me show you. Let me show you. We're gonna go here, pull up the sample again, okay? Now, we're gonna actually manipulate the pitch of the sample without using gross speed. How? Drop down menu here on the time stretch, change it to stretch. The pitch range to 12. Right click, create automation clip. We're gonna go into our extras folder in Horizon. We're gonna pull up the pitch things here, okay? Pitch number 4 I know is kind of soft. It's not too crazy. In fact, we're gonna use this and cut up a little bit of it. That looks kind of cool. Hopefully it sounds just as cool. So let's play it. That sounds interesting. What else can we do? Let's drop on number 1. Very cool. What if you don't have RC20, but you want to have a little bit of that pitch wobble effect to it? Maybe you want to be a little bit heavy with it. So we go into here, we use the same automation clip that we set up, but we're going to drop pitch wobble heavy on this one, okay? It's just going to go like this. It's going to be real weird, okay? RC what? That's a quick way. That's using the stock plugins, and that pitch wobble is simply just modulating the pitch of the sample, okay? Now we got this new sample. This is what that sample sounds like. And we're gonna route this to its own track. Gonna click track, cool, it's on number 1, great, fantastic. I like things that make my music making process quick. So I'm gonna drop on one of these channel strips. Now this is an excellent way for you guys to, one, practice sound design and or use the presets that are in the pack to kind of understand how I make or do my sound design. So we're gonna go into here, and I'm gonna put on movement, okay? Drop that on there, and it's loading. Why is you loading? Okay, there you go. It took a while. But stock plugins, check this out. The sample is now moving around me in a weird, trippy way. Or what we can do is we can drop on presets like discovery. And we've got a little growth speed action happening on here, doing some crazy stuff, and some little auto fades and tings. Let's see what that sound like. Okay, that's definitely very freaky, you know? That makes the process quick. What about good times? Okay, what about invasion? Very cool. What about Vulcan? Because I've been watching a lot of Star Trek recently. Oh, it's not even healthy. Oh my god. That sounds so cool. Wow, that sounds really cool actually. I'm kind of feeling kind of inspired off that. What about takeoff? Okay, that's very cool. So how do you make some of these channel strips? Let's say you're in here, we go to file, we're gonna make a default one. We're gonna put on, let's say we're gonna put on like a little parametric equalizer. We're gonna go into here, put on a little bit of, I don't know, maybe some growth speed action happening on it. Maybe we'll go into here, we'll put a little bit of a flangus on there. What else? What else can you put on to freak this up? Maybe we'll put on the new destructor, okay? And then we're gonna put the EQ at the end. Now, the only thing I want you to keep in mind when you're making this for yourself is that you want to mess it up real good and then control it with the EQ. Remember, we're controlling producers. Gross beat. We're gonna go into here. We're gonna maybe put on a little something simple. You know, nothing crazy. You don't wanna give people a freaking anxiety attack with the effects, right? Okay, that's giving me anxiety. What about this basic one? Okay, what about, let's filter this up. I think it could use some filtering, right? So we're gonna go into here, we're gonna break some rules. We're gonna be like, yo, why are we telephoning our shit? Well, we're gonna telephone it. It's gonna sound cool. Check it out. It's gonna sound real cool. Cool. What if we pitch the sample down like a couple semitones on top of it? Okay, what about flangus? Let's throw some flangus on there. Maybe go through some presets real quick. And maybe we'll put on a little chorus, right? I'll put on this chorus right here like this. In fact, let's go into here. Let's go add some reverb to it too. Let's go into, I don't know. We're gonna drop on one of my favorite new presets, Blur Pink. Okay, we're just gonna let it just into nothingness. Thumbnail. You see what I'm saying? And then you just right click, file, save as a mixer track state, and you kind of make these for yourself as just some freaky fun stuff, right? Just to, you know, help you out of creative struts or ruts or whatever they're called. Okay, so we talked about probably like more than 5 or 6 different techniques on how to spice up your samples. And I really hope that you guys learned something and you guys will take what I've shown you here and build on it, because simply watching this is not enough. You gotta practice. So do good things, go practice, smash that thumbs up, share this with a friend, because sharing is caring, according to the Care Bears. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Do not disturb me. No, you thirsty ass bitches gon' be thirsty. No, you hating ass haters wanna murk me. All of my exes don't deserve me, cause I'm all the same way them bitches curb me.